The first time I laid eyes on that wooden house, nestled by Lake Clearwater in Michigan, I felt a pull deep in my chest. Morning light spilled across its weathered planks, glinting off the water, while mist curled up from the lake like a whispered promise. This wasn't just a house. It was my future, our future, mine and my family's. I'm Emma, and this is how I chased a dream, only to learn that dreams can slip through your fingers like sand. I'd never forgotten that moment, standing on the gravel path, the air crisp with pine and possibility. The house wasn't grand, not some mansion you'd see in a magazine. It was sturdy, warm, with a wide porch that begged for rocking chairs and a stone chimney that promised cozy winters. I could already picture it: summer barbecues with laughter echoing, Christmas mornings with stockings by the fire, game nights where we'd all forget our little grudges. My family wasn't perfect. Whose is? But I believed this place could stitch us back together. I'd worked for this. 3 years of pinching pennies, living in a shoebox apartment in Grand Rapids, saying no to vacations, to new clothes, to anything that wasn't this house. Every bonus, every raise, every late night at the office seat all went into a savings account with a single purpose. When I finally signed the papers, my hands shook, not from nerves, but from pride. I'd done it. Me, Emma Larson, the girl who grew up sharing a bedroom with her sister, now owned a lakeside home. The first time I brought my family to see it, their reactions painted a picture I'd carry forever. My mom, Olivia, stepped inside and froze, her fingers grazing the oak banister. "Emma, you actually did this," she whispered, her voice soft, almost reverent. Her eyes traced the vaulted ceiling, then lingered on the wall of windows framing the lake. "How'd you pull it off?" "3 years, Mom," I said, grinning. Every dime I could scrape together. I couldn't hide the triumph in my voice, didn't want to. My dad, Richard, wasn't one for big displays. He just grunted, cradling his coffee mug, and shuffled out to the deck. Classic dad feelings were never his strong suit. But I caught the way his shoulders relaxed as he stared at the water, like the lake was already working its magic. My little sister, Sophia, was a whirlwind. She darted from room to room, her sneakers squeaking on the hardwood. "Oh my God, Emma, this is perfect for my Instagram," she shouted from the loft. "I'm claiming this room for my yoga videos. The light's unreal." I laughed, picturing her striking poses against the sunrise. Sophia was always chasing the next big post, but I didn't mind. This house was for all of us. I could already see it: Mom hosting her book club in the living room, Dad grilling burgers on the deck, Sophia filming her content while I sipped coffee by the fire. Sure, we had our issues: Mom's nagging, Dad's distance, Sophia's obsession with her phone. But this place? It was going to fix everything. I was sure of it. Standing in the kitchen that first day, sunlight streaming through the windows, I let myself dream. I saw us closer, stronger, the kind of family you'd see in old photos, smiling without forcing it. The house felt alive, like it was waiting for us to fill it with memories. I closed my eyes, breathing in the scent of cedar and lake air, and thought, this is it. This is home. But dreams, I'd learn, have a way of twisting. And sometimes, the people you love most are the ones who turn your haven into a battleground. 2 weeks after we first toured the house by Lake Clearwater, I drove up for a quiet weekend, craving the peace of my new sanctuary. The air was sharp, the lake shimmering under a late afternoon sun. But when I stepped onto the porch, something felt off. The recycling bin by the garage caught my eye. I lifted the lid. Empty wine bottles, at least a dozen, clinked together. My stomach twisted. I hadn't been here since the family visit. Who had? I called Mom. "Hey, Olivia, you been up to the house?" My voice stayed light, but my grip on the phone tightened. "Oh, just me and some friends," she said, casual as if she were borrowing a sweater. "We stopped by for a little book club. You gave us keys, didn't you? It's fine, right?" I swallowed hard. "Sure. Just let me know next time, okay?" Of course, sweetie, she chirped, but the line went dead before I could say more. I stood there, staring at the lake, trying to shake the unease. It's fine, I told myself. They're family. They're allowed to enjoy it. Then the Instagram post started. Scrolling through my phone that night, I froze. There was Sophia, my little sister, in a perfect warrior pose on my deck, the lake sparkling behind her. Chasing Zen at the lake house, the caption read, with hashtags like lakeside vibes and my happy place. My happy place. I scrolled further. Mom had posted to a photo of her book club, wine glasses raised in my living room, captioned, "Nothing beats good books and great views." I blinked at the screen. They hadn't mentioned any of this. Not a text, not a call. I tried to brush it off. They're just excited, I thought. But a small voice in my head whispered, why didn't they ask? I pushed it aside and planned a family weekend. Let's all go up to the house, I texted the group chat. Barbecue, board games, just us. The replies trickled in, each one a dodge. Oh, Emma, this weekend's no good, Mom texted. Richard's got a golf thing, and Sophia's filming something for her followers. Dad didn't even bother responding. Sophia sent a vague, maybe next time, sis. Disappointment stung, but I buried it. Work was crazy 60-hour weeks, endless meetings. The house could wait. They just needed time to settle into the idea, right? Then came the renovation demands. We were at a rare family dinner in Grand Rapids when Mom dropped it. Emma, that kitchen's a disaster, Olivia said, slicing into her steak. Those countertops? So dated. And the guest bathroom tiles? They've got to go. I frowned, poking at my salad. I kind of like them. Besides, I drained my savings buying the place. Renovations aren't in the budget. Olivia's eyes narrowed. If you want us to spend time there, you need to make it presentable. What will people think? Sophia chimed in, scrolling her phone. Yeah, Emma, my followers would roast those tiles. You want the house to look good online, don't you? Dad grunted, not looking up from his plate. I felt the weight of their expectations pressing down. I'll think about it, I mumbled, but I already knew I'd cave. I always did. A week later, I took out another loan. 60-hour workweeks stretched into 70. Contractors swarmed the house while I was stuck in meetings, and Mom took charge of everything. Don't worry, she texted. I've got it under control. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to believe this was still about us, about building something together. But late at night, staring at my bank account, I couldn't shake the feeling that my dream was slipping out of my hands. And the worst part? I didn't yet know how right I was. I was buried in spreadsheets when my phone buzzed, pulling me out of another late night at the office. A message from Sophia lit up the screen, with photos of the newly renovated kitchen at the Lake Clearwater house. Gleaming quartz countertops, sleek cabinets, a far cry from the dated setup Mom had complained about. All done. Sophia's text read, just in time for your birthday bash. Whole crew's coming. I frowned, my thumb hovering over the screen. Birthday bash? My birthday was this weekend, but nobody had mentioned a party. Not Mom, not Dad, not even Sophia, who usually couldn't keep a secret to save her life. What party? I texted back, but no reply came. Another message popped up. Mom didn't tell you? Been planned forever. You're probably too busy anyway, right? My stomach churned. They'd planned a party at my house, for my birthday, without telling me. I sat back, the office suddenly too quiet, the hum of the air conditioner too loud. Part of me wanted to call Mom, to demand answers, but another part, the part that still hoped for the family I dreamed off, whispered, surprise them instead. Friday afternoon, I left work early, a rare treat. I stopped at a diner in Grand Rapids, loading up on takeout burgers, fries, milkshakes, enough for everyone. The 2-hour drive to Lake Clearwater felt electric, my heart buzzing with anticipation. I pictured their faces when I walked in, arms full of food, ready to join the celebration. Maybe this was their way of making up for the missed weekends, the unanswered texts. Maybe the house was finally working its magic. But as I pulled into the driveway, my headlights swept over a sea of unfamiliar cars. Music thumped from inside, loud enough to rattle the windows. Through the glass, I saw silhouettes dancing, drinks in hand, a crowd far bigger than just family. My chest tightened. I grabbed the takeout bags and climbed the porch steps, fumbling for my keys. The lock didn't budge. I tried again, twisting harder. Nothing. The key didn't fit. They'd changed the lock. On my house. I stood there, frozen, the bags heavy in my hands. My house. My dream. I dialed Mom's number. Once. Twice. 3 times. Finally, she answered, her voice barely audible over the music. "Emma, sweetie, now's not a good time." "I'm outside," I said, my voice shaking. "The key doesn't work." A long pause. The bass pulsed in the background. "Look, we needed some privacy this weekend. You get it, right? You're always so busy." I heard Sophia's voice, faint but sharp. "Is that Emma? Tell her only invited guests tonight." Laughter followed, like a knife twisting in my gut. "Mom," I said louder now, "this is my house. I bought it. I'm paying for it." "Don't be dramatic," Olivia snapped. "We'll talk later. I've got guests." The line went dead. I stumbled back to my car, the takeout bags cold against my legs, and sat in the driver's seat. Through the windows, I watched shadows move, strangers laughing, dancing, living in the home I'd poured everything into. The lake glittered under the moonlight, mocking me with its calm. My hands trembled as I gripped the steering wheel, hurt giving way to something sharper, something fierce. They wanted to play games? Fine. I wasn't the same Emma who'd let them walk over her. I opened Instagram. Sophia was live, twirling in my kitchen. "Welcome to the lake house, fam," she chirped. "Tour time. Check out these sick new countertops." I closed the app, my jaw tight. I called Mom again. She picked up on the first ring this time. "Emma, I told you." "Open the door," I said, my voice low, steady. "Now." "You're being unreasonable," she huffed. "Go home. We'll talk when you're calm." The line cut off again. I stared at the house, my house, and made a choice. This wasn't over. Not by a long shot. I sat in my car, the takeout bags now cold on the passenger seat, staring at the Lake Clearwater house as music spilled from its windows. My house, my dream, now a stranger's playground. The hurt burned, but it was hardening into something else resolve. I was about to start the engine when a soft knock on my window made me jump. An older woman stood there, her face etched with concern, silver hair catching the moonlight. "You okay, honey?" she asked, her voice gentle but firm. "I'm Clara, from next door." She pointed to the cozy cabin to the right. "Been watching you sit here a while." I rolled down the window, forcing a smile. "I'm fine. Just family stuff." Clara's eyes softened. "You must be Emma. I've seen those folks coming and going from your place a lot." She hesitated, glancing at the house, then back at me. "They've been telling everyone it's theirs." My breath caught. "What do you mean?" She shifted, uncomfortable but determined. "Your mom, Olivia, she's been saying it's the family's vacation home. Told the neighbors you're moving to Chicago for work or something. And your sister, Sophia? She's been posting videos on TikTok, calling it her lake house." I gripped the steering wheel, my knuckles whitening. "All summer." "Oh, yeah," Clara said, nodding. "Every other weekend, seems like. Big parties, loud music. Your dad, Richard, he threw a fancy dinner last month, bragging about plans to renovate the boathouse." "Renovate?" My voice cracked. I hadn't heard a word about this. My mind raced, piecing together the Instagram posts, the locked door, the wine bottles. "They told everyone it's theirs?" Clara nodded, her expression grim. "Sophia's the loudest about it. Posts videos from your deck, your kitchen, saying she's living her best life at her place." "I figured you knew." "I didn't." My phone buzzed. A Facebook notification. Sophia had tagged me in a post. Best birthday party ever at MY Lake House, it read, with a winking emoji. Sorry not sorry, Emma. Maybe if you weren't such a workaholic, you'd use this place. The comments poured in. This place is unreal. Your parents are so cool for letting you have it. I showed Clara the post, my hands shaking. They're lying to everyone. She frowned, reading the screen. That's bold, claiming your property like that. Want me to write down what I've heard them say? Might help. Please, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. And you mentioned you've got security cameras? Clara's eyes lit up. Sure do. They catch my driveway and part of your dock. I can pull the footage, show you how often they've been here. Might be useful. Thank you, I said, gratitude flooding me. Then Clara hesitated, lowering her voice. There's one more thing, Emma. Last week, I overheard Olivia on the phone, out by the mailbox. She was talking about transferring the deed to the house. Said it'd be easier to manage that way. The words hit like a punch. Transfer the deed? My house? The one I'd spent 3 years saving for? The one I was still paying off? My vision blurred, not with tears, but with a cold, sharp clarity. They weren't just using my home. They were trying to take it. Thank you, Clara, I said, my voice steady now. I'm going to need that footage. She patted my arm. Let's go to my place. We'll sort this out. As we walked across the lawn, another car pulled into my driveway. A guy in his 20s stumbled out, hauling a case of beer. Yo, Sophia, he shouted toward the house. Party's about to level up. The front door swung open, light and music flooding out. Sophia's voice carried. Finally, you got the good stuff, right? I stopped, watching her laugh carefree in my home. Clara's hand rested on my shoulder. You okay? No, I whispered. But I will be. I pulled out my phone, opened my contacts, and found my lawyer's number. It was time to fight back. Monday morning, I marched into Dad's office in downtown Grand Rapids, my heart pounding, but my steps steady. The secretary, a nervous woman with a tight bun, tried to block me. Ms. Larson, he's in a meeting. I brushed past her. This won't wait. Richard looked up from his desk, his computer screen glowing with a half-finished game of solitaire. He minimized it quickly, frowning. Emma, what's this about? I'm busy. Solitaire's not a meeting, Dad, I said, my voice sharp. I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. Let's talk about the boathouse renovation. The one you never told me about. His face paled, just for a second, before he recovered. Who told you that? It's just an idea, nothing set. An idea? I stepped forward, my hands clenching. You're planning construction on my property without my permission. That's not an idea, Dad. That's illegal. Now, Emma, he said, raising a hand like he was calming a child. Don't get dramatic. It's family property. You'll inherit it eventually. We're just sprucing it up. Inherit. I laughed, the sound bitter. I bought that house. With my money. My savings. My loans. It's mine, not yours. He leaned back, his chair creaking, a smug look settling over his face. And where do you think you got that drive? Who paid for your college? Your first car? Everything you are is because of us. I shook my head, anger simmering. I paid off my student loans myself. That beat-up Honda? I worked summers in your warehouse to cover it. Don't act like you handed me anything. Richard waved a hand, dismissing me. The point is, family shares. Your mom and I have plans for that house. Big plans. Sophia's building her brand, and I'm lining up investors. It's for all of us. Investors? I pulled out my phone, opening my banking app. Funny you mentioned plans. I checked my mortgage statement. Someone tried to transfer the deed to Mom's LLC last month. The bank flagged it. His jaw twitched, but he kept his voice smooth. That's a misunderstanding. Just paperwork for tax purposes. Tax purposes? I slammed my hand on his desk, the sound echoing. You tried to steal my house, Dad. That's not a misunderstanding. That's fraud. Keep your voice down, he hissed, glancing at the door. You're blowing this out of proportion. Good, I said, louder now. Let everyone hear. Let them know what you and Mom are up to. I stepped closer, staring him down. Your business is tanking, isn't it? You needed my house to back a loan. He flinched, his eyes darting away. We were borrowing it, he mumbled. We'd have sorted it out. Sorted it out? I laughed again, colder this time. Before I noticed? Before you lost it like you're losing everything else. He wouldn't look at me. My phone buzzed an email from Natalie, my real estate agent. Emma, I've reviewed your case. Buyers are interested. Market's hot. Call me to discuss options. I looked at Dad, the man who'd taught me to work hard, to stand tall, now slouched behind his desk, avoiding my gaze. I'm selling the house, I said quietly. His head snapped up. You can't. Your mom will be crushed. Sophia's using it for her career. My business. Not my problem, I cut him off. I turned for the door, but his voice stopped me. Emma, wait. We can work this out. A lease, maybe? Or transfer it to us properly. We'll do right by you. I spun back, my voice low, steady. Like you did when Mom changed the locks? When you let Sophia throw parties in my home. I shook my head. Not this time. Emma, he called as I walked out. Let's talk as a family. I didn't stop. We stopped being a family when you locked me out, I said over my shoulder. Outside, I texted Natalie. Let's meet ASAP. My phone buzzed again. Mom, Sophia, Dad, all texting. I ignored them. The game was over and I was done playing nice. Back at my Grand Rapids apartment, I sat at my desk, the glow of my laptop casting shadows across the room. The confrontation with Dad still buzzed in my veins, but I wasn't shaking anymore. I was focused. My phone lit up with a text from Lily, my best friend, who'd been following the drama. You need cameras, Emma, she'd said earlier, sliding a coffee across my desk at work. They changed your locks. Nothing's too much now. I'd hesitated then, but not anymore. Call your brother, I told her. 2 days later, high-end security cameras were installed at the Lake Clearwater house, linked straight to my phone. I watched the first feed come through, my heart sinking. Mom, Olivia, was giving a tour to her friends, gesturing at my living room. We've had this place forever, she said, her voice clear through the app. Emma just handles the paperwork for us. Sophia was worse. She'd turned my office into a content studio, her clothes spilling out of boxes, ring lights cluttering the desk. This is my creative hub, she said in a TikTok clip, panning across my space. Her boyfriend, Ethan, was there too, lounging on my couch, sprinkling something white on my coffee table. My breath caught. Is that evidence? I asked Lily, who was peering over my shoulder. Damn right it is, she said, as I snapped a screenshot. You're building a case, Emma. I met Natalie, my real estate agent, at a coffee shop downtown. She was sharp, younger than I'd expected, with a no-nonsense vibe that put me at ease. Spreading out my documents, deed, mortgage, screenshots of Sophia's post, she nodded. Trespassing, property damage, attempted deed transfer, she said, pausing at the video of Ethan's suspicious powder. This is serious. We can use it all. I want them out, I said. And I want to sell. Fast. Natalie leaned forward. Market's hot. We can list next week, but we need to handle the squatters first. You mentioned the sheriff. Yeah, I said. With this evidence, they're interested. Can we coordinate an eviction with the sale? Absolutely, she said, jotting notes. Sheriff's office knows how to clear a property. My phone buzzed a new Instagram post from Sophia. Big news, it read. Lake House Reno starts next month. Boathouse glow up coming. I showed Natalie, my jaw tight. They're planning more changes to my house. Then we move faster, she said. I've got buyers ready to tour this weekend if we list Friday. Perfect, I said. They're throwing a huge party Saturday night. I want it listed then. Natalie raised an eyebrow. During their party? Trust me, I said. It's the best time. That night, a courier dropped off an envelope from Olivia. Inside was a flimsy contract offering to buy the house with a payment plan pennies on the dollar. A sticky note in Mom's handwriting read, "Be reasonable, Emma. Family helps family." I snapped a photo and sent it to Natalie. "Nice try," she texted back. Buyers already lined up. My phone buzzed again. Clara, the neighbor, sent a message. "Sophia's friends are setting up cameras all over your place, saying they're filming a big reveal tomorrow." "Oh, there'll be a reveal," I texted back, watching the security feed. Olivia was directing caterers in my kitchen. Dad was handing out drinks to early guests. Sophia rehearsed a speech in my bathroom, her voice muffled but smug. "Big things coming for the lake house," she said, practicing her influencer smile. Lily called, her voice crackling with excitement. "Your sister's planning a blowout. DJs, decorators, the works. You sure about this?" I watched Sophia on the feed, directing someone carrying champagne cases. "I'm sure," I said. "And I won't be alone. Natalie and the sheriff are coming." Lily laughed. "The hot real estate agent and the law? You're unstoppable." "Focus," I said, but I smiled. I pulled out a black dress from my closet, laying it out for Saturday. This wasn't just a sale. It was a reckoning. And I was ready. The sun dipped below Lake Clearwater's horizon as I pulled up behind Sheriff Davis's SUV, the thump of music vibrating through the night. Natalie, my real estate agent, sat beside me, clutching a for sale sign. The driveway was packed with cars, the lawn spilling over with guests, my deck alive with dancing figures. My house, my dream, was a circus, and I was here to shut it down. "Ready?" Natalie asked, her voice steady but her eyes searching mine. I nodded, my black dress hugging my frame, red lipstick sharp as my resolve. Sheriff Davis stepped out, clipboard in hand, his badge glinting under the porch lights. "Ms. Larson," he said, "we've verified your ownership. Let's do this." We walked up the path, weaving through clusters of guests too drunk to notice us. The music was deafening, bass shaking the windows. Through the glass, I saw Sophia holding court in my living room, influencers circling her, phones out, filming every move. Mom, Olivia, directed servers with trays of appetizers. Dad, Richard, laughed with men in suits, probably his so-called investors. Sheriff Davis knocked on the door. No answer. He pounded harder, the sound cutting through the noise. Olivia opened it, a wine glass in hand, her smile faltering when she saw me. The glass slipped, shattering on the porch. "Emma?" Her eyes darted to Natalie, then the sheriff. "What is this?" "Property reclamation," Sheriff Davis said, his tone official. "We have paperwork. Everyone needs to gather." "No," Olivia stammered, trying to shut the door. The sheriff blocked it with his boot. "Sophia." "Richard," she called, her voice shrill. The music cut off. Heads turned. Richard pushed through the crowd, his face darkening. "Emma, don't do this," he started, but I held up a hand. "It's done," I said. Natalie stepped forward, slamming the for sale sign into the lawn. Camera phones swiveled, capturing the moment. Sophia shoved her way to the front, Ethan trailing behind her. "What the hell?" she snapped. "You can't do this." "Actually, I can." I held up my file deed, mortgage, proof of ownership, screenshots of their posts, security footage timestamps. Trespassing, property damage, and I smiled at Ethan, some illegal activities caught on camera. "You're spying on us?" Sophia shrieked, her face flushed. "Protecting my property," I corrected. "Big difference." Ethan looked confused. "Wait, isn't this your family's vacation home?" "No," I said, my voice clear. "I bought it. They just borrowed it." Olivia stepped forward, her tone syrupy. Honey, let's talk privately. You're embarrassing yourself. Embarrassing? I pulled out my phone and played a security clip. Olivia's voice filled the silence. Emma always caves. She's desperate for our approval. We'll transfer the deed before she notices. The crowd murmured. Sophia lunged, snatching my phone. Sheriff Davis stepped between us. Ma'am, that's enough, he said. Sophia screamed, this is my house. We announced it. Everyone knows. Everyone knows what you told them, I said. Lies don't hold up in court. Court. Richard's voice cracked. Emma, wait. Natalie cut in, loud enough for all to hear. The property's sold. New owners take possession Monday. Everyone here needs to leave. Now. Sold? Olivia gasped. You can't. I did, I said. Sheriff Davis will handle the eviction. Eviction? Sophia's voice rose to a wail. Suddenly, cold liquid hit my face, champagne dripping down my dress. Sophia stood there, an empty bottle in her hand, mascara streaking her cheeks. I hate you, she spat. You ruined everything. Sheriff Davis moved forward. That's assault, ma'am. Ms. Larson, want to press charges? I wiped my face, the champagne soaking my perfect revenge outfit, now ruined like so much else. I looked at Sophia, at Mom's pleading eyes, at Dad's clenched jaw. No, I said softly. No charges. Just get them out. You heard her, the sheriff announced. Everyone out. Now. Guests grabbed their things, whispering. They lied about owning it? Did you record that? Influencers, man. So fake. Natalie touched my arm. You okay? I watched my family being escorted out, Olivia crying, Richard silent, Sophia yelling into her phone. 3 years of dreams shattered. No, I said honestly. But I will be. The music was gone, the crowd had scattered, and the Lake Clearwater house stood quiet, but the wreckage told a different story. Empty bottles littered the floor, cigarette burns scarred my coffee table, and a sticky film coated every surface. I stood in the living room, a trash bag in hand, staring at the chaos my family had left behind. My dream home, trashed by the people I'd wanted to share it with. Olivia sat on the porch steps, refusing to budge, her eyes red from crying. You destroyed this family, she said as I passed, her voice heavy with accusation. I stopped, gripping the bag. Pretty sure you did that when you tried to steal my house. I gestured at the mess. Show me one receipt, one payment, 1 cent you put into this place. She looked away, silent. Inside, Sophia was shoving clothes into a duffel bag, muttering into her phone. My followers are freaking out, she said, not noticing me. We had sponsorships lined up, brand deals, everything. Not your house, I said, picking up a champagne bottle. Not your deals. Should have thought about that before lying to everyone. Lying. She spun around, glaring. I was performing. It's called branding. Call it what you want, I said. It's still fraud. Ethan appeared in the doorway, his face sour. Sophia, my dad's lawyer, called about the business loan. Not now, she hissed, waving him off. I raised an eyebrow. Business loan. Ethan shifted, uncomfortable. We took out a startup loan for our content studio. Use this house as collateral. A loan? I turned to Sophia, my voice low. Using my house? She shrugged, defiant. Mom said it was fine. Said the deed would transfer soon. Transfer? I laughed, the sound hollow. You mean the deed you tried to steal? Hope you've got a good lawyer for those fraud charges. Fraud? Richard's voice came from the stairs, his arms full of boxes. Nobody's accusing anyone. We'll handle this as a family. Family? I pulled out my phone and played another security clip. Richard's voice echoed through the room. Emma's naive. She'll sign anything we put in front of her. Always does. His face drained of color. Where'd you get that? You had cameras. Everywhere, I said, my tone ice cold. Got some great footage of your poker nights, too. Wonder what your investors would think. Enough. Olivia stormed in from the porch, her voice shaking. You're being cruel, Emma. Cruel. I gestured at the wrecked house. Like changing my locks? Trying to forge my deed? Letting Sophia take out a fraudulent loan. We were desperate, Olivia shouted. Your dad's business was collapsing. Sophia needed a fresh start. We thought you'd just give in, like always. Not anymore, I said, my voice steady. Sheriff Davis is waiting. Time's up. Everyone out. But my stuff. Sophia protested, clutching her bag. Should have thought of that before throwing champagne at me, I said, pointing to the door. Go. They filed past, one by one. Olivia reached for a hug, but I stepped back. Richard wouldn't meet my eyes. Sophia stormed out, Ethan trailing awkwardly. Natalie appeared with the sale papers, her expression calm but firm. Ready to sign? Perfect timing, I said, grabbing the pen. Plenty of witnesses. Emma, please, Richard tried one last time. Think about Sophia's future. I am, I said, signing with a flourish. I'm teaching her actions have consequences. You'll regret this, Olivia whispered. When you're alone. I'd rather be alone than be your bank. I cut her off. Sophia flopped onto the couch, dramatic as ever. I'm not leaving. This is my home. Ma'am, Sheriff Davis sighed, stepping forward. Don't make me carry you out. She stood, mascara smearing her face. I'll never forgive you, she spat. Funny, I said, watching her go. That's exactly how I feel. The door slammed shut. Through the window, I saw them load a truck, Olivia sobbing, Richard consoling her, Sophia still filming. Natalie handed me the signed papers. New owners move in Monday. You sure about this? I watched their taillights fade. I'm sure, I said. Some things can't be saved. The Lake Clearwater house was quiet now, the chaos of the party a fading echo. I stood in the living room, the cleaning crew due tomorrow, but for now it was just me and the ghosts of my dreams. Natalie, my real estate agent turned ally, appeared at the door, holding a folder of documents. Found these in the boathouse, she said, her voice careful. You need to see them. I took the folder, my fingers brushing yellowed papers. My eyes caught a name, Grandma Evelyn. What is this? I asked, my stomach tightening. Natalie sat beside me on the couch. It's your grandmother's will. The house, it was hers. She left it to you, Emma. Specifically to you. Clara, the neighbor, who'd stopped by with coffee, whistled low. That's big. I scanned the document, the words blurring. Grandma Evelyn, who'd taught me to fish on this very lake, had owned this house. Her will, dated before I was born, named me as the heir when I turned 18. But I never knew. I looked at Natalie, my voice barely a whisper. What happened? Your parents fought it, she said, pointing to court records in the folder. They lost, but sold the house before you came of age. You bought back your own inheritance, Emma, with your own money. The truth hit like a wave, cold and heavy. All those years of overtime, scraping savings, taking loans I'd been paying for what was already mine. That's why they wanted it so bad, I said, my voice hollow. They thought they could steal it twice. Clara shook her head. That's fraud, plain and simple. Natalie pulled out more papers, loan applications with my name, forged signatures in Mom's looping script, Dad's clumsy scrawl. They tried to take out mortgages on the house, she said. Multiple times. Thinking about suing? Clara asked, her eyes sharp. I stared at the forgeries, the betrayal in black ink. My phone buzzed, a barrage of messages. Dad, your mom's in the hospital. Stress. Hope you're happy. Mom. Doctors say my blood pressure's through the roof. This is on you, Emma. Sophia, Mom's sick because of you, but my followers are rallying. Raised $10,000 for legal fees. I blocked them all, my hands steady now. No more guilt trips. I opened my messages and typed, fast and final. To Mom, get well. The house is sold. Don't contact me. To Dad, I found Grandma's will. I know what you did. To Sophia, keep your donations. You'll need them when the lenders come for you. P.S. I've got all the security footage. Clara raised an eyebrow. No big showdown? They'd love that, I said, standing. More drama for their posts. I'm done playing their game. Outside, a car pulled up. The new buyers, a young couple, their faces bright with excitement. They stepped onto the porch, keys in hand, snapping photos of their future. Natalie touched my arm. Ready to go? I took one last look at the lake, its surface calm, the view that had stolen my heart. I'd imagined family laughter here, shared memories. Now I saw only the weight of their lies. Yeah, I said, grabbing my bag. I'm ready. As we walked out, I passed the couple. Welcome home, I said, my voice soft but sure. They smiled, oblivious to the war that had played out here. I didn't look back. Clara hugged me by my car. They're still lying about you, she said, showing me Sophia's latest post, a tearful video begging for support against family betrayal. Mom had shared it, claiming I'd broken their hearts after all they invested. Let them, I said. The truth catches up. Natalie joined us, her eyes warm. You're okay? I thought of the will, the forgeries, the years I'd spent chasing a dream that was mine all along. Not yet, I said honestly. But I will be. I climbed into my car, Natalie in the passenger seat, and drove away. The house faded in the rearview, along with the family I'd once fought for. Ahead was something new, something true, and for the first time, it felt like mine. I stood on the deck of the Lake Clearwater house one last time, the late afternoon sun painting the water gold. The air smelled of pine and freedom, no longer heavy with the weight of broken dreams. The cleaning crew had come and gone, leaving the house spotless, ready for its new owners. I sank into the lone armchair I'd kept, the only piece of furniture that felt like mine. This place, once my everything, was now just a chapter closing. Clara, my neighbor, stopped by, her thermos of coffee a familiar comfort. Last night was a spectacle, she said, settling across from me. The whole neighborhood's still talking about your showdown. I smiled faintly. I bet. I sipped the coffee, warm and grounding. Seen any of them today? Your sister drove by twice, filming for her followers, Clara said, shaking her head. Olivia's been calling everyone, playing the victim card. But that's not why I'm here. She pulled out her phone, showing me Sophia's latest post, a tearful video, captioned, "Swipe up to support my fight against family betrayal." They stole my home. Mom had shared it, adding, "Our daughter Emma broke our hearts after all we gave her." I laughed, the sound sharp but free. Stole? Funny, considering they never paid a dime. Keep scrolling, Clara said. A new comment caught my eye. Ethan, Sophia's boyfriend. I'm out, he wrote. Didn't know it was Emma's house. My lawyer's looking at Sophia for misrepresentation. Good luck to him, I said, handing the phone back. I wasn't surprised. Lies have a way of unraveling. Natalie appeared at the door, her presence steady, no longer just my real estate agent, but a friend who'd seen me through the fire. Last walkthrough, she asked, holding a thin stack of papers. Anything else you need? I stood, glancing around the empty living room. Just one thing, I said. I stepped onto the deck, the lake stretching out before me. That viat had hooked me from the start, promising family, love, togetherness. Now it promised something else. A fresh start. I want to watch the sunset, I said, my voice quiet but sure. Just me, no shadows hanging over. Natalie nodded, understanding. Want company? I thought about it being alone, choosing who shared my space. Yeah, I said, a small smile tugging at my lips. I think I do. We sat on the deck, the sky turning pink, then purple, the lake mirroring every hue. Clara joined us, her coffee thermos between us. So, what now, Emma? She asked, her voice soft. I leaned back, the chair creaking under me. I'm building something new, I said. Something that's mine, no strings, no betrayal. My phone stayed silent, the blocked numbers ensuring peace. I'd let my family keep their lies, their social media sob stories. The truth would find its way, like water carving stone. I'd chosen not to sue, not out of kindness, but because I didn't need their drama to define me. They'd face their own consequences, lenders, lawyers, the court of public opinion. You're not even sad, Natalie said, her tone more curious than judgmental, as we walked to my car. I looked back at the house, its wooden frame glowing in the fading light. It's beautiful, I admitted. But sometimes, beautiful things aren't meant for us. Sometimes, there are just stops along the way. Clara hugged me goodbye, her grip warm and fierce. You're gonna be okay, kid. I know, I said, and I meant it. I slid into the driver's seat, Natalie beside me, the road ahead open and uncharted. As I drove away, the house shrank in the rearview, along with the family I'd once fought to keep. Their lies crumbled behind me, fragile as sandcastles against the tide. Ahead lay my truth, my path, my own kind of happy ending, one I'd write myself, with no family drama required. I turned up the radio, the music filling the car, and smiled. For the first time in years, I felt light. Free. And that, I knew, was worth more than any house by the lake.